to be here. Just to give you a little bit of a sense about where we are in the industry and what the INNI, Israel National Nanotechnology Initiative, is. About 10 years ago, the country have decided to look at nanotechnology as a critical technology, emerging very important and the one that can bring some growth into Israel. And as part of it, the INI was established, and we got some funding to be able to look into all these, what can be done. Uh, One of the major reasons for establishing the INI was to bring new innovative technology into the country and actually make it into bring a critical mass of multiple companies working together to take advantage of the next growth engine in the industry. And if you look into what has happened in the last 10 years until now, we have established 6 nanocenters in Israel, from the south, which we are here, into the north. Each of these sites have infrastructure of equipment, personnel, and a lot of research which are done in combination with the industry. From all this combination of research and working with industry, we have now about 250 startup companies and the companies who are dealing with the nanotechnology as part of their programs. Some of them are very large companies like Elbit, like the Rafael, the aircraft industry, all these which are taking small part of their activity and enlarging it by taking advantage of what is done now in nanotechnology into their space. About 60-70% are startups, which came out of these universities in the research areas. Each of these universities have a commercialization center which promotes the technology developed within the university to commercialize them outside. And I said about 60-70% are out of these. So it's a lot of activity which is taking place in this area. Another part which is done in the country, which is very important, is a magnet programs, which is taking joint programs on specific area and try to build them between companies and researchers working together to create applications coming out of the joint know-how. One of these consortia which I was involved in is in the nanotechnology, nanotubes empowerment solutions. Nanotubes is one of the critical elements of the nanotechnology. And what was done there was to bring multiple companies and researchers in to identify what can be done with this basic nanomaterial and what application we can take it into. To make the story short, some of the companies which were involved did very well, but we looked into how to take other companies who are not involved in nano, which are in the traditional industry, and bring them in and see how they can learn from it and what they can do. A company which was, and I take as an example, just to give what can be done in nanotechnology that can really step up above the other technologies. A company which was dealing in the batteries, which for 60 years, this technology did not change at all. And that company could actually go out of business if they did not change their technology and bring some new input into it. So how do you take such a technology, which is all the way down in the ground, and bring it into a point where they can take a new technology and enter it into such a low-level company? I went and spoke personally. I spoke to the general manager of the company. I told him, I think we can do something in nano. Please join a group of some of the companies and researchers, and let's see how we can do nano in your company. He almost threw me out of the room. He said, look at what we have here. Everything is so dirty. These people, how we talk about nano? We are speaking about centimeters, which is large sizes. Nano is something which we cannot do. We didn't give up. We went again. We talked to him again. He said, look, only my chairman can decide. So I went to his chairman, and I talked to his chairman and convinced him that to think about it. He said, what should I do? I said, we just have to bring 2 engineers and let them study and become. He said, but it costs money. I said, we'll give you the money. Just take two people. So what happened, he actually hired two engineers, which joined the consortium. Just by sitting around the table, they start to get involved and start to learn about, oh, there is nanotechnology we can do. And by doing some combination of the University of Bar Ilan together with that company, they were able to really put these nanotubes into the batteries. And about 2 years later, and I remember the first talk when I had with the chairman, we agreed that if we had the 3%, 4% improvements, it's significant because you talk about traditional industry. They were able to improve by 160%. Okay? It's major. And the reason I'm saying it, it's just to give an example. The nanotechnology is very powerful. We are in a very early stage. It will take time. But once you identify an area and you are able to bring new technology into that area, it can take it from one level into totally different level, and it will change the entire industry. What we have to look into is how we can bring it into others. And the reason I'm here to tell you the education on the Edu Nano is critically important, because right now we are starting to see traditional industries going into nano. Just about 3 weeks ago, both Professor Valgarini and myself were in the agro area for nano. The agriculture area is going into nano, and you think about what they will do. And it was amazing just hearing stories from different researchers and companies going into bringing nano into the field. I don't see other way without education. Education is key for us. And I think having the education programs on the internet is tremendous. People that wants to know about specific don't have to take a class of 1 year. They can go into the internet, can read it in about 10 minutes, and they give some kind of picture about it, and then go deeper, spend few hours, spend a week or 2 weeks, and they know what to ask about. They know where to go into. One area that we have done in the INNI was to establish database. Database about when you start something, you have to know where you are, and then when you go. So we looked into the entire industry, both the researchers and the companies, and we put a database that includes all the companies, which field they are, what are the phone numbers, who are the people there, so actually you can contact them. For the researchers, we have exactly all the name of the professors that are dealing in this kind of field. We have there a small windows. When you click on their names, you get the phone numbers, you get the fields they are working in, what they have done, and if you can want to connect them, you just use their email and you connect, and then you do the interfaces with them. We have shown it about 5 years ago, and the European Commission came and asked us, can we use the same engine to do it for us? And we said, yes, we take it free. Go ahead and use it. And the idea is to create collaboration between people very quickly, very effectively. You don't have to dive and start to ask questions. You can go into the field. You can look into who are there. You can look into what subject, and then you can call them directly. And the idea, if you can do it between countries, it will be tremendous. You don't have to go and fly and try to look. You can just look at the internet, find the person here, find the person there, connect, and then you can get some advantage about it. So my word to you, continue, do it. Is the next level which you have to look into how to bring a lab experience to the people, because by reading only it's enough, but you have to have hands-on. So if you can establish some kind of program where we can bring the experience to the people, so actually they can see what they can do with what they are learning, this will be a tremendous advantage. Thank you very much.
Thank you.